السلام عليكم جميعا. الله يعطيكم العافية. Thank you for attending today webinar. Today, inshallah, we have a new, or not a new guest speaker. Actually, she presented with us before. Dr. Haifa Al-Abbad is an educational consultant. She holds a PhD in education from Durham University in United Kingdom. In her PhD research, she adopted longitudinal design using the national purple database in addition to a systematic review. She has more than 16 years of teaching English as a foreign language in Saudi Arabia. She earned her master's degree in international development and education from Newcastle University in United Kingdom as well. She is interested in research method and design involving secondary data and systematic review. Thank you so much, Dr. Haifa, for accepting my invitation. Before you start, Dr. أول شيء بعرف if you want to present in Arabic or in English.
Up to you. If you want Arabic, it's fine. If English, it's fine.
So let's see the audience. Also, this webinar also it's live in YouTube as well. Dictora, you have 45 minutes for your presentation, and after the presentation, the audience can ask you a question by raise their hand, and we can go one by one asking you the question, or they can write their question in the Q&A below the screen.
Okay.
Dr. Ahmed Al-Gattan, welcome everybody again, and also again thank you, Dr. Haifa, for accepting my invitation. The floor is yours.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank ITAR group represented by Dr. Ahmed. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm Haifa Al-Abbad, as Dr. Ahmed said. Today, inshallah, I'm going to share with you how to develop research questions. It is one of the problems that new research faces is that how to start a research. Because of that, I think this webinar may be beneficial. Maybe you can get some benefit, I hope so, to be able to develop research a question. Let us start and see. So any researcher, normally have a topic of interest in any field, okay? But the problem is, what next? Okay, I have a topic of interest. I searched in the literature. I found a gap. Everything is fine. I feel my knowledge is good. Okay, but what next? How can I start my research? The answer is by research question. So what is a research question? A research question is a question about your topic answered with research. This is simply, it is the question that you try to find the answer for it during your research process. So why is it essential tool in research? Is it essential tool for your research? It is important because it gives you the direction for your research, the focus for your research. It gives you the path for every decision that you are going to take in your research, from the early beginning until you finish your writing process, which means that a research question is very important step, you have to take it from the early beginning of your study. Take your time to do it. Think and think, because this will be the base for your research. Okay. Let me shed a light on types of research questions. Actually, there are more than one category. When you Google it, you will find different categorization, but today I'm going to present to you the main three kinds, or the main three types of research questions. We have descriptive, relational, and causal. Of course, this will base on the field that you are working on the topic that you want to search about it. However, it is good to know about these because that will help you to form a good research question. Let us see them one by one. Descriptive. What is a descriptive research question? When a study designed to describe what is going on or what exists, it is a description. I need a description to know what is going on. In this type of research question, if you need a description, you can start your question with how much, how regularly, what percentage, what time, or what is. Okay, you can start by using any one of these to give you a description, the description that you seek for. Let us look at an example. This is a good example about a descriptive research question. What percentage of high school students exercise on daily basis? This is a good question. Why I say it is a good? Because from the beginning, from what percentage, okay, I know this is a descriptive one. I ask my participant, I ask my sample to give me a description thing, which I need in my study. The second thing that makes this good and clear, look here, we see the variable is written in the question itself. Daily exercise. This is the variable that I measure in my question. Also the sample, the participant or the group that I work on here, high school students. So good research question should be clear, and all the elements that you needed or to make your reader understand what you want exactly, you have to use very clear language. Okay, this is about descriptive. Let us move to the second one. It is relational. From the word relation means a study is looking for relationships, looking for links between two or more variables, or maybe two or more groups. So it is maybe by conducting correlations, by doing some analysis that is related to find links. Okay, there are a lot, okay, there. However, this is the main goal for this type of research. So, like what? An example of a relational research question is this. What is the relationship between school attendance and academic attainment for 60-year-old students? Again, look at the question. The beginning of the question, so clear, so direct. It gives the reader a full understand of what I'm looking for. What is the relationship? Okay, school attendance and academic attainment. They are the variables that I examine in my study. They are the variables that I'm looking if there is any link between them. I wrote them in my question, which is good. Okay, what about the sample or the participant or your population if you are covering maybe a huge area? Here, 16-year-old students. I specified them. Okay, this is a good way to write a research question. Let us move to the third type, which is causal. From the name of this question, I can understand that it looks to find out causes and effects. This is to find out causes and effects. Mostly this type of research used in medical schools, or when they producing a new medicine, they want to see the side effects for it, for example, or also in social sciences when they try to find some causes or some effects for any program they invented. Anyway, this is causal. So let us see an example of that. What is the effect? You see, from the beginning of my question, I wrote the very clear word that help my participant, my reader, even my examiner, if I'm a student and maybe master student or doctoral one, that I'm looking of the effect. Effect of what? Of exercise. So this is my what? Variable. This is my measure on heart rate. So we want to see the effect of exercise on heart rate. So I have two variables here. I try to find, okay, to what extent the exercise could affect the heart rate. For whom? For all people or the ages? No, I specified them for 60-year-old men. So anyone, even any beginner, when they look at this question, they understand exactly what I want to search for, why I need, or sorry, what I want the answer for this. Okay, so variables, exercise again, and heart rate, my group or sample or participant, 60-year-old men. My advice from my experience is that use simple language as possible as you can in your questions, in your writing process, in your thesis, in your dissertation. That will help you a lot because that's what they want from you. Any reader from any field could write it, so they should understand what you want to say to them. Sorry for saying that. I don't know, but I think it is important to say it. One of my professors told me one time when I was doing my PhD that try to write as you write to 6-year-old boy or girl, child. So try to use very simple language as you can. I know there are some terminology that is used for different field according to your audience. That is okay, that is fine. But however, try to use simple language as you can. Okay, let us move on. This is also important. You may know it, but I think we need to remind ourselves of that, especially for a new researcher. What is the difference between search and research? Search means you look for one answer by a specific question. You are looking for one answer for a specific question. You have a question and you need one answer for it. This is search. By one click or maybe more, but by Google it, you can find the answer. Like this example. How much did world population grow in the 20th century? When you Google this, okay, you will find, okay, directly this answer. From 1.6 billion in 90s to over 6 billion in 2000. So this is the answer. That's it. It's finished. Okay. So this is search. This is the search. When I need answer, just okay, one answer for my question. That means this is search. It is not research at all. Okay. What is the research then? Research means you look for many answers for just one question. You have one question, but you are looking for multiple answers, like this in the screen. What fueled world population growth in the 20th century? Before I search or I make my research on this, I should put in my mind, I'm going to get a list, okay? A list of factors, maybe factor 1, factor 2, factor 3, okay? Because this is big question. What fueled world population growth? So I should have some idea in my mind before I found the answer for my question. This is the research question. Let us see like what? Factor 1, advances in medicine. I actually predict that, okay? Advances in nutrition, advances in sanitation. When you Google it, when you research it, 1, 2, 3 or more times during your research, you may have these, okay, or more, okay, for this question. This is a research question. So what is a good research question then? It is the question that generates a list of answers. If your question just give you one answer, that means it is not a researchable. It couldn't be used for a research. It is just simple search, okay? So put in your mind, a good research question should give you a list of answers like this. However, also you will see when you make your research about this question, for example, you will okay, find not just 1 or 2 advances in medicine. You can find advances number 1, advances number 2, advances number 3. So it is very big, okay? Very big topic. So by this exercise, I hope I can make this idea more clear for you. Look at this one. Does online academic writing advice have any effect on adult students? This question from, you know, because I'm an English teacher, so I know that this is yes/no question. Okay, this type of question is called yes or no question. So that means the answer is that will be yes or no. So it will give me just one answer. For that, it is bad research question. I cannot use it for my research. So how can I turn it to a good research question that I can use it for my research, for writing a paper, for writing my thesis, or any type of research? By doing this, what positive effects? Look, when I add these words, what positive effects, it change this question and make it a researchable question. What positive effects does online academic writing advice have on adult students? When I ask this question, I can expect that there is effect 1, effect 2, 3, 4, or maybe more. When you see this question is so broad. Even in this time, I don't take my decision totally. This will be my research question and that's it. Okay, why I put this arrow? I put it here to tell you that it is natural and expected in any stage of your research that you may make some changes on your questions. It is acceptable. It is not bad. You can do that. But you should have questions from the early beginning. Why? Because it is important to lead you. It is the direction for you. It is the path you will follow. Okay? So in this situation, with this question, we have lots of effects. We need to narrow it down. Okay? We can narrow it down. Let us take another example. Sometime, okay, also we have the opposite situation. Which is the opposite situation? Maybe I have too broaden question. It is too broad. As I told you, no, it is the same, sorry. It is the same as the situation that I talked about. It is the same as this, sorry for that. So it is too broaden and I need to narrow it. So this is time to narrow. What, okay, I use the same example that I used before. What fueled world population growth in the 20th century? Okay, you see, I told you it is so broadened or too broadened because we have advances in medicine, advances in nutrition, advances in sanitation. How can I make it narrow by doing this? What advances in medicine fueled world growth in the 20th century? So I specify the type of advances that I want to work on. And instead of make it like this open, I narrow it to make it narrow. By this, yes, I can find, sorry, by this way, I can get advanced medicine number 1, advanced number 2, advanced number 3. However, all these are working on the medicine ones. Okay, this is if it is too broadened. What about I have too narrow question? How can I solve this problem? Look at the question. How did aspartame affect post-menopausal women in the 1980s who suffered from migraines? It is too narrow because I'm talking about just, okay, a specific time. To make it more broaden or time, okay, to make it broaden, you can do like this. How does aspartame affect women who suffer from migraines? Okay, by this, I don't specify time. It is not limited for one specific year. Okay, it is more broadened than the first one. And you may have effect number 1, effect number 2, effect number 3. And these will be sufficient for your research. Again, I will say it again. It is normal, it is acceptable to change a little or maybe to change some of your questions during your, okay, research journey. Because you will face different challenges, okay? You may, okay, face some problems that stop you or that change your mind. So don't worry about that. Do them at the beginning, as I told you, but don't worry about changing anything later. Let us move. Avoid. This is so important thing. I want you to pay attention to it. You have to avoid some, okay, time or some things. Now I will talk some traps, let us say, some traps. We want to avoid them because that will make your question weak and not researchable. Number 1, the unanswerable question. What is this? Look at the example. How can humans be so cruel to each other? When you see this question, no one can know that this one is evil, this one is good. Allah only is the one who knows what is inside people. Okay, so this is unanswerable. We cannot find an answer for this. If you want to search in the same path, you can change it into what are the leading causes of murder in the USA, for example, or in any country. So what are the leading causes of murder in any country? Maybe USA, okay? So this is researchable. But this one, which you see in the slide, no, it is unanswerable. No one can answer it. So avoid this type of questions. To also avoid questions that just looking for opinions. For example, which school is the best in the neighborhood? This is an opinion question. If you just looking at this question and you just collect opinions from people, this will be an opinion paper. It is not research paper. So how can I solve that? How can I change it and make it researchable? You can ask, what are the features of the good school in the neighborhood? By this, you will get feature number 1, feature number 2, feature number 3, and it will make it researchable. What else? The third thing that you should avoid it is why question. Like what? Why boys are interested in technology? Okay, I have to talk some in this point. I know that there are some fields they use why question, and there is no problem with why question as a question. It is good, it is right in maybe meaning, it is right in language. Anyway, okay, why question looking for explanation. Okay, why questions look for explanation. Explanation give you different type of description. It is not clear, it is not specific. That is why I advise you to avoid why question. You can change it, okay? You can turn it to what question, okay? Like what are the factors that affect, or for example, what are the factors that make boys interested in technology, for example, okay? Or how boys are interested in on technology. So using how or what or any other word, what is the best actually, but it is according to you and according to what you are looking for, but try to avoid why question. Why question do not always list a clear and specific answer. So maybe you will ask for explanation in one dimension, okay, but the participant understand it in another dimension, which make it what, okay, the answers you will get, it is not in the same path. That is what I want to say. I hope you understand me, okay, but this is the problem with why question. So, and as I told you, it is, yes, it will give you explanations, it will give you this, descriptions, but it is not in the same direct. What else? Also, if you're looking at this question again, why boys are interested in technology, this focus on motives, okay? So it is hard. It is not easy to analyze it later, to find a clear answer for it. I think it is enough for this. Let us now move and see what are the considerations, or we can say the checklist that you have to do it for your questions. It is very important. Number 1, approved. Approved by whom? Your research question should be approved by your supervisor, maybe thesis instructor, or anyone of you from your community or who work with you in your research, because it is hard to diving on your research to go further and further and in advanced stages in your research. Then they tell you that you have to change your question. Your question isn't good enough to be a research question, for example. So you should get approval from your supervisor or from your instructor before you diving in your research. This is number one. 2, objective. You as a researcher, you have to be objective. Okay, you have to be objective. What I mean by objective? Your question shouldn't be driven by cause. What I mean by that? I mean, don't try to convince your audience of your beliefs. Okay, maybe you believe in something, you have strong belief on it. So you do this research and this question, especially just to approve it. This is not research. When you make any research, you have to be objective. You don't know. Yes, you have some expectation, but you don't know. Maybe maybe this idea will change. Maybe after you make your research, you will find the opposite that you expect. So be objective. 3, answerable. Answerable by your design, by your methods that you use. The methods and design you choose for your research should be able to answer this question. Also, your participant, everything that you use it to search for this, you have to answer this question. What is the last thing? Visible. What I mean by that? I mean doable, practical. You have to ask yourself these questions. Do you have enough experience on the field? Do you have enough skills, enough equipment, resources? Do you have sufficient time to finish this question and find the answer for it? Do you have enough fund, if you have a fund, to pay for your participant, for example, or for your experiment? Or you just, have questions and you are not sure that you can answer it by your research. By this, thank you for all. I hope I give you some points that can help you in forming your research question. I try my best to make it simple and because I don't want you to fall boring or to get lots of information. So thank you all, and I'm happy to answer any question if you have. If you want to ask me in Arabic language, that is fine for me, or in English, no problem. Thank you for all.
يعطيك العافية. Thank you so much, دكتورة هيفا, for your presentation. So useful, وما شاء الله أعطيتيها السهل الممتنع على قولتهم. So thank you so much. Please, if you have any question, raise your hand to ask دكتورة هيفا. دكتورة هيفا, في عندنا دكتور يقول hello, can we have a copy of the PowerPoint?
Yes, it's fine. It's totally fine. Just I don't know if how can I do that?
تقدرين تحطين الكونتاكت email for you so they can contact you if they.
Okay. Yes, I can do that now. Okay, I can. I will put it in the. Where is the chat one?
Yes.
Okay, in the chat, but I can't find it.
Just change to everyone, please. Change to everyone instead of hosts and panels.
Okay. I couldn't say it anyway. It is in participant, yes. I open the participant.
When participant? Yem participant. Because, oh wait, just a minute, give me a second.
Yeah, I couldn't do that, okay.
Now you can.
Okay. Okay, in the chat, I will write my email so they can, okay, send me their email or any, just say, hello, I want this, and I will send them what they want.
Is there anyone who want to ask Dr. Haifa any question regarding the development research question? All right, let me share with you guys. Okay, I hope now everyone can see Dr. Haifa Al-Abbad email in the chat. Murdi Aman say thank you. Zahra Merabti تسأل concerning the reformulation of RQ. How can the reformulation of research question aid in choosing the method when doing research?
Okay, it is a good question because, you know, I tried from my presentation to make to emphasize that your question will lead everything in your research, which I mean that from your question you can choose the design and even the methods for collecting your data or analyzing your data according to your question. Okay, how can that? It is according to, we talk about descriptive, we talk about causal and relational. These are the things you have to know what you want. Okay, so if I want to find like a correlation, between two or more variables, so I need a relational question. Like, what are the relationship, for example, or what is the link between this and that? How can this help me to choose the design? Actually, that's another thing. It is a very big thing we need to to specify one presentation, just to see how can I choose, or how can my question lead me to the design that I want to choose it. But we can, from some reading and some research designs, some boxes, some booklets, they are so clear, So try to choose the question. Look, for example, mostly if you are doctoral or if you are master degree, postgrad, when you have a proposal, you should have something about design. Maybe your supervisor help you in that, or maybe you have some idea about designs. So try to form questions could work with the design that you could use it. You know what I mean? So it is يعني لو بالعربي أقولها الموضوع مترابط بكل حذافيره. يعني من السؤال البحثي إلى اختيار التصميم البحثي، إلى اختيار الوسائل البحثية اللي بستخدمها في سواء في جمع الداتا أو في تحليل الداتا، حتى في النتائج وفي الدسكشن. سؤالي هو اللي راح يقودني في كل هذا الموضوع. طبعا أنا يمكن ما جاوبت بالضبط، لأن هي سؤالها يعني اللي فهمته إنها تبقى تعرف شلون السؤال راح يساعدني في اختيار الديزاين، صح؟ أنا هذا اللي فهمته من سؤال الأخت، السؤال راح يساعدني في اختيار الديزاين. لازم تكون عندي أنا فكرة عن الديزاينات الموجودة أصلاً. What are the research designs؟ على الأقل البيسكس. يعني مثلاً أعرف إن في experimental design، في مثلاً descriptive design، في longitudinal design، في correlational design. يعني لازم أقرأ في الديزاينز أول، وأشوف أيهم الأقرب لي والأقرب السؤال اللي أنا قاعدة أحاول أشوف له إجابة. وعلى هالأساس راح يساعدني. يعني أنا أحاول إني أقرب المعلومة بأبسط الطرق، واللي أنا جربتها شخصياً يعني. طبعا ممكن مثلا في بعض الكتب تقول مثلا هذا النوعيه من الاسئله مثلا this type of questions will help you to make مثلا longitudinal design. For example, خليني اقول example from my thesis. Okay, I have what is the relationship between academic attainment and school attendance for 16 years old student in England. In this, okay, I choose longitudinal design. Why? Because I want to see the link, okay, between these two variables during, okay, period of times, periods, okay? It is not just one era. I want periods, يعني مو بس في سنة واحدة، أنا أبغى أشوف، فاخترت اللونجيتودينال ديزاين. فالموضوع فيه flexibility، يعني أنا ممكن أغير سؤالي شوي عشان يمشي مع الديزاين اللي أنا أقدر أسويه، أوكي، المتاح لي، أوكي، وممكن أغير الديزاين على أساس السؤال اللي أنا أبحث عنه، فهو موضوع مترابط. إن شاء الله أكون جاوبت.
الله يعطيك ألف عافية دكتورة. Also let me add something. يعني أنا بوجهة نظري research question يعني it comes from the gap. Okay, so the first of all you need to find the gap. What is the gap? So if you know the gap, here you can start the research question. And if you want to find the gap, you need to read, as Dr. Haifa said, the previous study, the previous literature, what they are talking about, what is the hot topic nowadays. Also, sorry, also in the conferences, workshops, webinars like these, talk about a specific topic like what you are writing. Attend those. I really encourage everyone to attend these webinars, conferences, workshops in your topic, which will help you to choose the good question based on your gap.
Yes, yes, exactly, yes. Thank you for Dr. Ahmed.
Any question? Any question before we end today's topic? This webinar is already recorded and it's live in YouTube, so you are welcome to rewatch it in any time in YouTube. Thank you, Dr. Haifa, for your time and effort. I really appreciate accepting my invitation, and you are one of ITAR family. You are welcome to attend and also present any topic that it's you seem like it's useful for other researcher and audience. Any last word before ending today's topic or today's webinar, Dr. Haifa?
Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmed.
You are welcome. Inshallah, next week we'll have a new topic. Bidnallah will organized by Dr. Ahlam Sulami Bidn Rahman. And it will be, I will put the registration in all the social media soon, inshallah, those maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Dr. Haifa. See you, inshallah, next week. اللي يسأل عن القناة في اليوتيوب let me write it down in the chat. هذه القناة في اليوتيوب حق كل المحاضرات اللي قدمتها ITAR.